in prison. They rape Palestinians in prison, and then they're celebrated on television. This is, if you don't let me talk, you're just exposing yourself. You're exposing yourself. You're exposing yourself just as you exposed yourself with Epstein.
I'm Israel.
So in response to your nonsense, the nonsense about 50,000 people, those lies have been responded to by the Iranian people.
Before we jump into this wild clip, leave a comment down below with your thoughts. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you never miss our daily political breakdowns. When high-profile pro-Israel attorney Alan Dershowitz appeared on Piers Morgan Uncensored, he brought out his usual go-to debate tactic, comparing his opponent to Nazi propaganda minister Joseph Goebbels. But when he tried to deploy that smear against Professor Mohammad Marandi, the move completely backfired. Instead of flinching, Marandi flipped the script directly back on him, leading to one of the most explosive and chaotic shouting matches you will ever see on TV. Let's watch the complete clash in full, and then I'll break down everything that happened.
I just want to stress again that Israel has never been more unpopular globally, and not least in the United States, where 50% nearly of Americans said they would like to see Netanyahu arrested for war crimes, where 2/3 of Americans have a negative view of Israel. You know, my view of this is that Israel's current government is populated with people like Ben-Gvir and Smodrich, these other guys, who are complete psychopaths, and that the activities that they are promoting in, for example, the West Bank at the moment and so on, are making Israel a global pariah. Does that not concern you?
Of course it does, and I'm not at all a supporter of Ben-Gvir. I'm not a supporter of Smotrich. I am a supporter of the nation state of the Jewish people. I am a proud Zionist. Zionism is the national liberation movement of the Jewish people. Israel is the only non-colonialist state in the Middle East. All the other states were established by colonialist regimes after the First World War. Israel fought against colonialism and self-determination. I am not here to support everything Israel does. I wouldn't vote for Ben-Gvir. I wouldn't vote for Smotrich. I have to tell you that if in 1935, Winston Churchill had been the Prime Minister of England, and he had gone into Germany and attacked them, he would be the most unpopular person in the world. It's very unpopular to engage in preventive wars because you don't know what you're preventing. History is blind and deaf to the future. You only know what you're doing now. And so it takes enormous courage, courage of the kind that not only Winston Churchill had, but that Benjamin Netanyahu has had, that Ronald Reagan has had, that George Washington had back in the day. It takes tremendous courage to get involved in a war that is unpopular. The Revolutionary War was unpopular with many, many parts of the United States. It was the right war, the Second World War. Nobody wanted to get into it on the basis from the United States. Lindbergh was against it. The Poles were showing against it. It took enormous courage to take on Adolf Hitler. And, you know, I hate to say this, but I think I'm in 1935, and I'm sitting opposite Joseph Goebbels right now, and he's making the propaganda case for the Nazi regime, just the way this professor is making the propaganda case for the new Nazi regime, which is the regime of Iran. Will you at least admit, sir, will you at least admit that Iran murdered in cold blood as many as 50,000 innocent protesters? And would you admit, if that's true, that that comes closer to genocide than anything that Israel has been accused of doing in self-defense after its people were raped, kidnapped, murdered on October 7th? Would you at least admit that the Iranian regime has killed many, many, many thousands of people? Yes or no?
You know, we are not in 1935. We are not in 1939. We are in 1942. You are the Nazi regime that is carrying out a Holocaust in Gaza. You are the Nazi who is doing it as we speak. You're the evil monster. You say Israel is not a colonial regime? You're from Eastern Europe. You're European. All of those Ashkenazi Jews who are now running the country, they're from Eastern Europe. You came and slaughtered. I'm talking. I didn't interrupt you as you were ranting. The people who you support, the people who are running the country, they're Polish. They're Ukrainian. They're from Czechoslovakia. They're from Eastern Europe. You're not even Semite. You're the anti-Semite because you've been slaughtered. You won't let me talk. You are afraid. You're afraid because you know you have no argument. You have no leg to stand on. You slaughtered the Semite Palestinians, and you took their land. And you are a proud Zionist who supports a regime that celebrates the rapists in prison. They rape Palestinians in prison, and then they're celebrated on television. This is, if you don't let me talk, you're just exposing yourself. You're exposing yourself. You're exposing yourself just as you exposed yourself with Epstein.
I'm Israel.
So in response to your nonsense, the nonsense about 50,000 people, those lies have been responded to by the Iranian people. Stop ranting. I'm speaking. You're a lawyer. You're a lawyer. 3,117 people died thanks to an armed insurgency that your regime and the Israeli regime funded and supported. You're a coward. You are a coward. You won't let me talk. You're afraid. You're afraid of me talking.
Don't tell me I'm afraid.
The lawyer, Epstein's lawyer, Trump's lawyer, is afraid of me, a layman, talking. Why? Because you have no leg to stand on. The Iranian people have spoken. They went to the streets in the tens of millions. They went. You're a coward. You won't let me talk. I let you talk because I'm not afraid of you. People are not afraid of you anymore. You can kill Epstein. You can kill whoever you like, but we're not afraid. You can bomb my house. You can kill me with my family, but I'm not afraid of you. I will support the Palestinian people until your regime bombs my home. So go and tell them that. I'm prepared to die for the Palestinian people. But you who used to frequent Epstein Island, you have no principles and no morality. The Iranian people came to the streets in the tens of millions. We all know it. The footage is there. The international journalists were there, not just in Iran, but in Iraq. The Iranian people have spoken whose side they are. No one is going to be fooled by your propaganda to justify war.
Well, let's get this lawsuit straight.
Alan Dershowitz.
How many times do you think I was at Jeffrey Epstein's island? How many times? Say it again so we could get it on tape. How many times?
One time is more than enough, but I think you've been there 5, 6 times.
Multiple times. How many times do you think I was there?
I think you were there 5, 6 times.
Say it again. 5, 6 times? Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
I was his lawyer, just the way I was the lawyer for Palestinians.
What a naive lawyer.
No, don't interrupt me. I was the lawyer for Palestinian students who tried to hang the flag when Yasser Arafat died. I was the lawyer for Nazis in Skokie, Illinois. I helped represent them. I would even represent you if anybody tried to prevent you.
I don't need you.
I'm a lawyer.
I don't need you.
A lawyer does, and that's what lawyers should be proud of. I mean, I'm going to continue to represent people you don't like as long as I have the current strength to do it. And you can cite that as an argument against Israel, but it has nothing to do with Israel. It's just an ad hominem attack on me as a lawyer and on the American legal system. You wouldn't understand the American legal system because you don't have a legal
yourself said you regret being his lawyer, so don't talk nonsense.
Say it again.
You yourself admitted that you regret being his lawyer, so don't talk nonsense to me.
I don't.
Looking at this exchange, the most striking part is how Alan Dershowitz relies on legalistic grandstanding whenever his position gets uncomfortable. Rather than debating the substance of Israel's military actions or defending the civilian toll, he pivots to fishing for defamation lawsuits and invoking Winston Churchill to gloss over tens of thousands of lives lost. Professor Marandi completely refused to fall into that trap. Instead of backing down, he turned the rhetoric right back on Dershowitz, exposing how hollow these historical analogies sound when matched up against actual devastation on the ground. What makes this clip so revealing is that Piers Morgan barely needed to intervene. When someone refuses to be bullied or lectured into silence, the narrative crumbles on its own. What did you think of Marandi standing his ground against Dershowitz? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. Smash that like button and make sure to subscribe for more daily political breakdowns.